Hello, my name is Amrik. I'm from England. I have been to the retreats 3 times before. This is my 4th time. I really got into dry fasting through a neighbor of mine who mentioned Doctor Filonov's book to me, and it sort of chimed with me because I was going through a difficult treatment through the National Health Service, which I found very uncomfortable. It also gave me side effects. I had to have gastroscopies and colonoscopies, which I discovered the side effects were polyps, which was brought on by the medication, which mercifully were harmless. But I still wasn't happy with it, so I had to come here and really start first dry fast, which was 7 days, and that helped to cleanse my intestines, and really things were starting to settle down. But unfortunately, at the beginning of January 23, I discovered I also had gallbladder polyps, but two polyps. So I continued with the retreats in March 23 and then October 23. Obviously after consultation with the doctor on video calls, and the advice was really to continue with this, which I have, and I have seen some improvements. The biggest improvement I discovered was in December last year, when I went for the ultrasonics for the gallbladder and discovered my polyps had actually shrunk, which surprised my doctor because he said normally these things go the other way. And would you believe it, that he wrote in my medical records that this is due to dry fasting, and I think that he's probably making history because they don't believe in these things in the NHS. But I proved my specialist wrong because he was quite willing to remove the gallbladder. I said, no, you won't do that. So in that case, I won, and I hope I will continue to win. And that's the reason I'm here, because the advice I'd received from the doctor, and Svetlana obviously manages all this, has been very good. The treatments are excellent as well because they know what they're doing and they've been trained by the doctor. My journey is not complete, it's still continuing, but I believe in the end of the day, perseverance and faith pays off. This is day 2 at the retreat for me and day 3 of the dry fasting. I have been here before, as probably from yesterday's interview. I have come back again because I have seen some benefits, particularly in my gallbladder polyps, which, as I said before, has surprised my doctor, and which I think is quite informative for them as well, because I think he was genuinely surprised that he's never seen something like this before. Obviously, there was a preparation, the 21-day preparation phase, which I carried out quite diligently, which does obviously help. Whenever I have the opportunity, I talk about my fasting experience with friends and people that I come across in ordinary life, and they do take notice of what I say, and so much so that 2 or 3 of them actually started doing intermittent fasting, which is not the same as the therapeutic fasting, because I tell them what I do is therapeutic fasting. It is not to lose weight, it is to heal myself. There's a fundamental difference. And so much so that one of my friends from Singapore, he came to visit me last June, and he was on blood pressure pills, and he started doing intermittent fasting, and he's off the pills. So he's benefited from it, and so I do as much as I can to spread the word, so much so that I had one hospital appointment, and the specialist was more interested in hearing about fasting than talking about my problem. So, you know, I think it's an irreversible process now, I think. So I think that I hope to benefit from this practice. Although being a little bit older than some other people here, it's going to take me a little bit longer. But nevertheless, fasting, dry fasting especially, is very individual. It works, you know, it varies from person to person. So I think the other thing I said last time was perseverance and the faith. You know, that's what will see you through to the other end. I think that's the essential quality. Day 3 at the retreat and day 4 for the dry fasting for me. My day begins with getting out of bed when I feel, oh, am I going to be able to even get up and stand straight? But somehow it works out. Then I take myself out for a walk, which I did today. I've done about 8 kilometers today. And then return here for discussions, possibly the lecture in the morning. That's quite important. It's quite informative because the doctor is such a store of knowledge that, and we are very privileged to be in his company. It's always adding to your knowledge. Also, doing these films, you meet people in small groups. It's all quite fulfilling. I think learning from other people, and obviously your past experiences as well, they are all relevant. I feel a little bit more confident compared to previous retreats, because I think I have seen improvements, and I think they will continue to improve. And having discussions with the doctor, I think, also gives you confidence that things will get better, although they may take a little bit longer, but nevertheless you're on the right path. And that's very important, because when you are on your own, these things have a hold on your mind. I think that's not very good, because that's preventing you from doing various other things. I've got so many other things to think about, but I'm dealing with it now. And then, of course, there is as the day progresses, you go to the treatments, and you're already familiar with the people there, and I think they look after you quite well. They know what they are doing and what you need, and you get it, and so on. And you know, I think that the day rounds off with whatever you want to do, and you relax. I think that's it. And funnily enough, I think I have started to sleep better here than I did on previous retreats. So possibly the mind is beginning to accept that things will happen, things will get better. Really, if anybody watches these, I hope they can take some inspiration from this. Day 4 at the retreat and day 5 of my dry fasting. I'll describe my daily routine, which is how getting up in the morning. I think last night I had a bit of a broken sleep, so getting up in the morning was a bit of an effort. But once I was up on my feet, it became a lot easier to move about. And the first thing I did was to go for a walk, and then return for the in good time for the daily lecture, which is almost essential, I would say, because really, you know, you learn so much. I mean, I submitted some questions, which I'm sure the doctor is a little bit bored by my questions, but nevertheless, he answered. So there is always an opportunity to learn, and for everyone to learn, really. And we learn from each other's questions. and after that another walk, and my mouth is feeling very dry, so I'm trying to minimize what I say and really continue the daily routine until this filming, and then of course look forward to the evening massage in the capable hands of Olga and Nastya, who are real experts. They do their job so brilliantly that really you could almost say that was an essential part of the treatment. It's hard to imagine where we would be without them, but they put in so much work, which is very good. So I'm looking forward to my evening treatment. I am on day 6 of the dry fast and day 5 at the retreat. It's pretty much routine every day, waking up, going for a walk. In fact, I have found a walk buddy, you might say, who I met here last couple of retreats. So we have effectively bonded and share our little life stories, which is quite interesting. So we continue on this fasting journey. I have discovered that I am expelling a lot of the toxins, I think, because I can breathe a little bit easier, and that has been my experience from the past as well. Some thoughts come to mind, but nothing really profound. It's just I want to be able to give the best I can for the life that is remaining, and to be able to do, I think, in good health is the goal. At the end of the day, I think it's not the quantity, it's the quality which counts. And I think I think that's important. And really, this is why I'm here, because, the easiest way out would have been just to sit there and take the pills, which they are very happy to give you. And that they continue to poison you and very slowly degrade your life, and until you are just useless. And I decided that I didn't want that life, and so I took the plunge in October 22 when I came here first, and it has been a very good learning experience. In fact, I might have influenced other people to think about fasting, and I have surprised my doctor, because they are of the opinion you can't survive without water for 24 hours. And I said, here I am after 7 days. I think it's a learning experience for them too, I hope. Other than that, I could say that if you are prepared to stay in the process, I think it will give results. Obviously, a bit slower the older you are, but faster, obviously, the younger you are. You will get there, and I think it's a very universal method, which certainly improves and very often cures things that cannot be managed by modern medicine. In fact, I would be so bold as to say that modern medicine hasn't even understood the human body completely anyway. So that's where I stand, and I stick to my guns, as they say, and I hope others do too. So it's very fundamental to Sikh thinking, and so much so that we were used by the British in the First World War and Second World War, and they used to carry our scriptures, the Holy Book, to the battlefield, and they would recite the prayers before going into battle. And that's why we were such fierce warriors, and the British wanted us on their side. And faith is, I think faith is such a strong thing, and that's the tradition I come from. I didn't consider myself terribly pious, but the older I have become, the more I'm thinking about these things, and you know, it does give you courage, it does give you strength, and I think even when you may think there is nobody on your side, the one who has created you is always on your side, and that you must never forget. Anyway, as I say, I think it's I shall continue along this path, and coming to the retreat is definitely added to my inner strength, and also to realize that you need an independent means of being able to deal with the physical illnesses, because I am not a great believer in chemical crutches, which is what you get under the health system anywhere. And I'm sorry for people who don't have the knowledge to realize that there are other means, there are alternative means to heal yourself. And I try and spread this word to every individual I come across, including doctors. And they're often astonished. Well, it's their loss, not mine. And really, I am the unofficial ambassador for Doctor Filonov and his team. Day 7 at the retreat and day 8 for the fasting for me. My voice is very low. I've had a lot of cleansing of the throat because there was a lot of mucus coming out. I'm feeling a bit of nausea, so I very much think that is probably the second crisis. I've been through this before, so Daniela has helped with a lot of ice packs. I'm a bit lethargic as well, although I've been out for a walk. So I think it's just a question of sitting it out really until day 9, which is tomorrow evening. So I look forward to my delivery of the Molotov way, because that will be a start of something pleasant to think about in the morning. I think perseverance is the key, as I said before, and people around you, they give support, and when you realize that whatever illnesses or ailments you have, it's all relative, and I think you're probably in very good hands with Doctor Filonov, because when you have a one-to-one opportunity, I think he tells you as it is, and it's up to you to accept that and march forward. Day 8 at the retreat, and this is my first day of exit. I was planning to do 9, but I think my body got the better of me. So consulted with the doctor, and he advised get out. So I am going through the protocols about exiting, but I'm sure that I will have benefited from even the 8 days, and I have no doubt the next 21 days will continue doing their magic, and I'm confident that that the advice from the doctor is sound advice. I mean, he's got vast amount of experience, and I think it's advisable to consult when you have any doubts yourself, because we are not in a competition here. It's what the body will tolerate and what the body will allow. It's as much as I can say. Hopefully, depending on the outcome of this retreat, I think the opportunity is still there to come back. We're almost, I think, knowing the staff here and knowing the doctor and everybody else, for me, I think it's almost like coming home to a second home. So may this treatment, the retreat rather, continue. Day 9 at the retreat and my second day of exit. It's proving quite useful. I'm getting my strength back. There isn't the constant dry mouth and those kind of symptoms. My sleep is improving a little by little, and I think my symptoms are probably going to benefit from it as well in the longer run. One piece of advice is that if you're coming here for a longer 9-day fast, for instance, then it's almost better to start at home and then continue, because that way it gives you a bit of extra time to exit and prepare to fly back home. So that is not a bad move. Staff here are very supportive and they will help you. There's no doubt, and obviously the doctor is at hand. Svetlana gives advice as well. So I would say that that's probably as good a way as any, really, to take this on. And I'm hoping to continue with this, and who knows, maybe come again. Day 10 at the retreat and day 3 for my exit. I could be considered one of the veterans because I'm amongst people who've done more than these retreats more than once. The most important thing is to go through the whole cycle with preparation, and don't, if you don't do that, it's your own fault. The doctor is available for consultation, and there's no issues there. I'm feeling the benefits of this last fast, early stages, but I think it will come along. And for me, I think it's going to be a very gradual, step-by-step approach. I think the treatment staff are excellent. They know what they're doing, and I'm sure they are guided by the doctor, and for your benefit. And equally, the restaurant people are very good at when you're exiting, and they're preparing everything for you. I imagine that I can see me coming here again, simply because I've seen improvements in my conditions. So if anyone is thinking, well, just watch these testimonies.